I'm just manipulative and very conniving, and I'm two-faced, and I'm very materialistic, and very, you know, very LA.
Most of the actors that I've worked with, from Katie to Morgan Freeman to Pacino to Jessica, you name it, I mean, they love what they do, and that's why they're in the business for so long. And if they don't love what they do, generally we don't work with them again.
Everybody has a specific color that represents their aura, and that's what you call your life color.
Today, actress Katie Chonacas and movie producer Randall Emmett are here. They both have more than half a dozen movies in the work, including the new Nicolas Cage remake of Bad Lieutenant. And later in the show, Jackie Ruka and Jennifer Butler will tell you about the psychology of color, what colors say about you, and what message you're sending to others. Great to have you here today, Randall.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having us.
Katie, pleasure.
Hi, thanks for
having me.
having
I can reach
me.
you over there. So you guys just wrapped Bad Lieutenant.
We did. We did.
Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
So you're the producer and you're in it though, right? What are you doing with Nicolas Cage?
I play this young teenage girl, and I'm like from the Upper East Side, a socialite, and I'm walking out of this fancy club, and I'm involved with the wrong kind of people, doing drugs, and then I get stopped by Nicolas Cage, and things start happening.
Ah. Good, clean fun.
Sounds like a Nicolas Cage movie there somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, the remake of Bad Lieutenants, we relate it to like Leaving Las Vegas. You know, for him, we're hoping it's an Academy, you know, type movie.
Oh,
so everybody in the film is wonderful, and Katie's, you know, extremely talented. So we're excited for sure.
How close is it to the original? I mean, is it quite a different take on?
It's similar in a lot of ways because we keep intact the story and the tone of the original, but we reset it in New Orleans, so it definitely has a lot of character elements that have changed because of the city.
Now, is this post-Katrina in
Yes.
the movie? Or
Yep.
okay, wow. Well, New Orleans has plenty of problems, unfortunately.
Exactly.
So that's
yeah, it might even be more gritty than the original. So.
And when is this going to be released?
We expect fall of next year, and we hope to be, you know, at the Cannes Film Festival in May. So that's what we're planning.
Excellent. And now with you, as I told you earlier, I don't even know where to start because you produce more than 50 movies. Right now in the theaters, you have Righteous Kill, which is Robert De Niro and Al Pacino.
Yes.
Not too bad of a cast there.
No, we were very lucky. That's a good one.
And that was one of the few times, the third time I think I read that they've actually worked together in a film since.
Yeah, it's actually, they worked together in Godfather, but they're never in the same scene. And they had 2 scenes together, and so Righteous Kill was the first time they were ever in a whole movie together in every scene. So it was exhilarating for us as a producer. It's a dream, and you know, as you grow up, you watch all these phenomenal movies that De Niro was involved in, and Al Pacino was involved in, and then you get a chance to put them together. It's it's pretty amazing to be part of it.
And you did some stuff for Righteous Kill too?
I had the opportunity, fortunately, to go out for the movie, and I met the director, John Avnet, and I went out for a different role in the movie. And there were 3 scenes that I had to read, and they were all very different. And in one of the scenes, the last scene, where the young lawyer gets shot, you know, because she's there trying to get some drugs, she starts producing tears, and there was just some really great moments there. And then afterward, you know, John Avnet called Randall, who's the producer, and said she's the real deal. So unfortunately, I was about 10 years too young for that particular role, but because I play very young. But he wanted me in the movie.
I'm tempted to ask you how old you really are, but you're playing young roles. But if you don't want to say, I won't ask you. But
so
you're playing young though. That's good. I got the hint there.
So he said, fortunately, you know, he wanted me in the movie, and he found a spot for me. Unfortunately, it wasn't a pivotal part, so my scenes got cut. They brought in another editor on the film from the studio, and the studio personally called and apologized and said, you know, it had nothing to do with me, but you know, just it happens.
Well, it happens to, yeah.
And you know, I have the experience from it, and they're going to give me the piece of the material, so I'll be able to put it on YouTube and my website.
Sure.
And I'll be able to have the experience.
And a lot of times that stuff ends up showing up on like the DVD and you know, I mean, a lot of that stuff
uncut, you know, the uncut version, but I'll say that, you know, the movie went through so many transformations because it's when you have such a big movie, so many people are involved in the cutting, and there's no control. You know, it's this big monster, and so many people are on board of this monster, so you never know what.
Well, and that's really the thing that, again, that's amazing about your career with the 50 movies, because it's so damn hard in this town to get one movie made, let alone 50. So it's really,
yes.
I guess you've learned how to navigate that whole system.
You know, I'm still learning every day, but it's definitely, you know, every movie's like a new child or a new family, and you have to kind of, sometimes you have a divorce, sometimes you have a separation, sometimes you know, but it's a journey, and I love each and every one, and I'm passionate about each and every one, and you know, people say I'm obsessed with what I do, and I think you have to be obsessed. It's true. I tell people to make one film is unbelievable because there's so many hundreds of people involved, and if one person goes the wrong way, the whole movie falls apart. So I've been lucky. I have a lot of key people around me that have been involved repeatedly on a lot of these movies, so we're kind of a team now, and it's kind of a machine. So,
and you have another movie together too, which is
Yes.
Major Movie Star, right?
Yes, we do, with Jessica Simpson and Katie. You know, the thing about our company is we work with the same actors over and over. When we like somebody, we think somebody's on the rise or somebody's very successful. I mean, whether it's Nick Cage or Morgan Freeman or Al Pacino, we've done Katie, we've done multiple movies with, and when you see somebody who you know is gonna pop, who's already there and you know has a lot of heat, we saw Katie and we're like, oh, this is a young superstar, and she has all the talent. Every director, so we did. That's how we met Katie in Major Movie Star. She was this co-star with Jessica Simpson, and it's a bunch of girls in the military, and it's like Private Benjamin.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
Jessica has to go back to boot camp, and she's a famous movie star, and she realizes after a night of drinking that she signed up for the military. So
what did you do in? You're in the military.
I play her BFF.
No, wait, I'm trying to do the initials there. Somebody want to help me
Best
out?
friend forever.
Okay, is that okay?
Yeah, I'm just manipulative and very conniving, and I'm two-faced, and I'm very materialistic and very, very LA, if you will. And things are pretty much on the surface. And she finds out later on in the movie that I'm not really her friend at all.
Oh
yeah,
she plays backstabbing, huh? Oh.
It's funny because Katie's role in Major Movie Star is very similar to like the typical entourages that young actors have, and she plays the best friend who's the makeup artist who goes everywhere with her, and then in the end, when Jessica has this transfer,
her like everybody else.
Right.
So
exactly.
She's in the news so much these days, or was, because of the boyfriend thing and the football team, and was she bringing down the football team? What was she like working with her in person off camera? Did you enjoy?
She's great. She was so sweet. She was really nice. She was always on time to set. She was always prepared with her material. She always was cordial and was really nice with everyone. And then she actually added me in more scenes. She talked to the director. She went up and talked to the director. I saw her do it. Oh. And she went and talked to the director, and she's like, oh, well, this is how it would be with my real best friend. Oh, she would really be here. So I ended up being added in more scenes because of her.
Oh. Yeah.
So it was really sweet.
Yeah, I agree with everything she said. She's great. She's a professional, and she's been doing this since she was a little girl. So she loves it. I mean, most of the actors that I've worked with, from Katie to Morgan Freeman to Pacino to Jessica, you name it. I mean, they love what they do, and that's why they're in the business for so long. And if they don't love what they do, generally we don't work with them again. Because it's too hard to make a movie. So if people aren't enjoying themselves or passionate like we are, and there's so much money involved, that you have to.
Now this will be released next spring.
Next spring.
Next spring.
Okay. Yeah, 2009.
Well, when you mentioned, again, some of the A-listers that you've, practically everybody I think you've worked with over the years. Well, I should say you came to town. Well, you want to tell the story of how you came to town?
What version do you have? And then you tell me. I'm getting
well, I
old,
know you have
so it's
relative,
hard. Yeah,
but
I do have a relative in the business, and that his name is Jerry Bruckheimer, and he is to me the god of all producers, and I still to this day, I'm in shock at what he's accomplished in this industry. I mean, and what happened was I graduated from film school in New York, and I didn't have a job, and I was broke, and I said, can I work for you? And he said, we really don't have a job right now, and that's it's tough love. So I was like, okay, I'll work for free. Yeah, I'll do anything. I'll get the coffee, I'll get the Snapple iced tea, whatever, and so I worked as an intern like everybody else, and then I eventually got a position, and I watched big budget filmmaking. This is the highest level, the best directors, the best stars, the best everything, and it was a learning experience. And then over time, I learned to Then I had to go out on my own. That's basically what happened. And I kind of paid my dues as an assistant and worked my way up and slept on couches and
and that's what I thought was interesting when you told me that. I mean, even though Jerry Bruckheimer was your relative, you were still you did sleep on the couch.
Oh yeah, and my car got repossessed and I got evicted. And I went through all the things that that we all go through. And I know
this is a tough town, isn't it?
No, this is a ruthless town. But nobody told me that when I was at film school. I read the book and I thought if I studied hard, I'd be Jerry Bruckheimer. But then you get to Los Angeles and you have to learn the business, and we all have paid our dues, whether you're an actor, a writer, director. And I paid a lot of my dues, and then I got a break eventually, and I partnered with somebody that still is my producing partner 11 years later, and in those over 50 films. So, but I always, what it is, I tell people, and I just say this, I tell people the reason I made so many movies. I said when I made my first one and I wasn't broke anymore, I would never stop because of the fear of being broke again. So I think it's fear that I keep making so many movies because I never want to sleep on a couch again. Yeah, it's a big motivator.
We're almost out of time, but I know you're also good friends with Mark Wahlberg.
Yes. Yes, I was his assistant, so I one of the assistant jobs that I carried.
And now you hire him on occasion, huh?
Well, we're looking for a project. We have not worked together yet, but yeah.
Well, I wish you both continued success and look forward to both your movies, or all of your movies coming out actually in the future. You've got 8 coming out this year alone, or this year and next year.
Yeah, we hope she'll work for us, next year because she's going to be a superstar. So I hope you'll still work.
Come back and you promised me those concert tickets earlier, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Great to have you today, Randall.
Thank you.
Katie, thank you very much. We'll be right back.
I am forced to dismiss all charges of rape and assault.
When you walk outside, watch your back. Easy.
Order in my court.
Okay, watch your back.
Order!
That's right. You keep smiling. What do you get this time?
We shot at close range, dropped right here.
What's up on rape charges, but they got tossed out last week. You know him? Yeah. Yep.
Somebody shot another bad guy.
We gotta find out who's doing this. Give him a medal.
And we are back. Joining me now are art therapist Jackie Ruka and color specialist Jennifer Butler. She's author of Reinventing Your Style. Great to have you here today, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Jackie? Hi. So, okay, I want to know what my colors are saying about me. I'm very blue today.
Oh, well, you're matching your background.
Yes, we're a very blue set around here. What kind of message am I sending to the world with my blue self?
Well, blue for oftentimes people is a power color.
Oh.
And oftentimes when your eyes are blue, we can do a soft blue that's all about balance. The background of your set is very, very powerful.
Oh, well, my eyes are not blue. They're
right.
brown.
They're brown and green, right? We talked about that.
Yeah.
So when you wear the green color, it's your power of negotiation. So when you're wanting to renew a contract or balance a situation that may be precarious, you wear your eye color.
So my power suit will be green.
Right. Well,
the sign of money, actually.
Yes, exactly. I was just going to say that, the olive green.
And for you, that's a big thing. I think you call it the triad of hair, skin, and eyes.
Yes.
So what does the hair say about us?
The hair is usually the grounding color, and particularly when you wear it for slacks. So if you decide to wear, say you wear brown slacks and an olive shirt, or an olive suit that could have an ivory shirt and then a multicolored tie, that basically brings in you feeling centered and us feeling centered with you, and then you appearing very grounded and us feeling grounded with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then skin tone and...
The skin tone is the what we call the power of relatedness. And I want to say something about the skin tone. I remember when I first received it, I thought, my teacher was making a mistake. It's probably a bad day. It feels like she's putting a Band-Aid on me. And yet when I started wearing it, people felt really comfortable with me. They felt instantly related. So we call it the first date color. It's a color to paint your bedroom, for example.
Oh.
For the guys, it's a color to wear like when you're meeting people for the first time, either sales, marketing, anything like that.
Now, what exactly do you mean by that? When you say, because you're saying the skin tone color,
yes,
but you don't mean the color of the wall should be the color of your skin.
Yes,
is that, or you're saying it should be?
I am saying that.
Really?
Yes, yes.
So I should have like beige walls or something at home. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, usually it's a beige, but there's an undertone of like it could be like salmon or an undertone of pink. Or it could be, for some women, it's a dusty rose. For some people, it's a coral. But it creates intimacy.
And that's true for all ethnic groups?
Yes.
No matter what your skin color may be?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And you were saying a bit about the eyes. Is there anything more to say about?
Let's see. I think the passion color, I'd like to talk about that. That's what I have on today.
Sure.
That's the color of emotional persuasion. So remember we used to talk about the men wearing the red tie.
Yes.
And a lot of men do. In fact, the candidate was wearing that the other night on TV, one of the political candidates. It's your power of emotional persuasion. So it's the chivalry for a man, and it's celebration for men and women.
So, but blue is also a symbol of power.
Right, but not necessarily emotional power. Any range of red, and by that I mean it could be pink, it could be burgundy, it could be rust, it could be orange. Whatever that is, everybody has, like if we look at, you know, you can pinch your finger or look at the earlobe, everybody has a different tone, a different blood tone, and that's what we're picking up. I work with over 4,000 colors. Here's one of my color trays you can look at. So I have 4,000 trays, about 80,000 swatches. So when we're doing the colors, we give you like your personal profile. So you have a DNA, right? You have a set of fingerprints. You have the tone of your voice that people recognize. You can walk down the hall and people recognize you. So we're saying,
they say, uh-oh, here he comes.
Here he comes, exactly, yeah, from the tone. And so we're saying that there's a profiling of colors that actually invent who you are. They are related to your internal essence, which is what I was loving what she was saying about her artwork, because it relates to essence.
Yeah, now Jennifer, or I'm sorry, Jackie. See, I knew I was going to do that. I know you have what's your take on this? You approach this from really an artistic or with your painting and a whole different side.
Yeah, I think it comes more from a conscious and an unconscious level. So for example, when we discussed red, red is passionate. People think of red as a color of love or also confidence. On an unconscious level, red could also mean being hot-blooded. It also can mean anger. And when we were mentioning blue earlier, blue is a very communicative color. Soothing, people think of the sky or the ocean when you think of blue, but also on an unconscious level, blue can represent alcoholism. It can also represent feeling blue or depression.
See, that's the message we're sending around here. Alcoholism and depression. And I've done shows like that, you know?
Yeah. Well, every day, you know, from the time we're born to when we get up in the morning, the kind of jobs that we do, how we make our money, it's all actually related to color, because color affects us and our emotions and our likes and our dislikes on a conscious and an unconscious level. And then it develops into your aura. And everybody has a specific color that represents their aura, and that's what you call your life color. And celebrities have people out there walking around. Everybody has this very unique life color, and that helps to determine what your priorities are in life, what your purpose is. So for example, red, again, is someone who is a trendsetter, someone who actually prefers to predict their own outcome rather than wait for an outcome, like entertainers, firefighters, police officers.
Firefighters better not wait for the outcome.
Well, exactly. So they're going to take matters in their own hands. So people like Madonna or Marilyn Monroe are your powerful red personalities, and then somebody that would be a powerful green personality is a more money-oriented person, workaholic, someone who actually likes to set an example for others, and an example of that would be like Donald Trump.
Ah. Well, now I'm curious, because you mentioned the life aura and you mentioned the color profile,
Yes.
I guess. How similar or dissimilar are these ideas of where you're going with this?
I think they're very related. We've discovered that your essence lives in physical reality, so I make no separation. So when I can actually paint your skin tone exactly as what it is, then what happens is you get presenced. When we can actually give you your shade of red, then you're highlighted. So this is about you being present and masterful in your life and being the real person. Now what happens, why we don't do that, is we're attracted to our opposite. And what I was loving about what she was saying is we have the conscious choice and the unconscious choice. So unconsciously, say you're with a friend and he has blonde hair, and all of a sudden the next day you say, you know, I'd like to go buy some light khaki pants. I just like them. And then you start wearing that instead of your shade of brown. And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're sending mixed messages because when they look at their closet, none of the clothes in their closet are actually who they are.
Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that, and I think also with when you really know or come in contact with your true essence, some people become scared and they have a sense of fear, and so they won't go in that direction. So for example, you are a talk show host, and hopefully that is your true essence.
You know it.
That's what you're about, and you are going for it. And some people who...
I got off that plane last night and I'm here doing it.
Exactly.
I'm going for it.
Exactly. And some people might want to be a talk show host, but they're too scared, so they might go and become a doctor because that's what mommy and daddy wanted them to become. So then they start struggling with their own inner conflict and not feeling fulfilled or happy in their jobs.
Sure.
And it's because they're not really relating to their true essence. They're denying it or submerging it.
And I think a lot of people are caught up in what's appropriate. And there's so many mixed messages. When you go to say, okay, I want to discover who I am, people will say, well, hire this stylist or look at this magazine. So it's out an outer reference. And what we're about is giving you an internal reference. And the internal reference is your personal colors that actually define and invent who you are.
All right, we'll be right back. We'll tell you how to find your own personal color. And we are back with Jackie Ruka and Jennifer Butler telling you all about color today. Okay, so how can we get people, and make me too, in touch with their right color?
Well, one of the things that you can do is really observe yourself in the mirror in the daylight. And I know it sounds a little scary, but it's, remember we talked about your eyes being brown or green?
Yes.
So say, for example, you have something green at home. It could be part of a tie pattern, and you could hold it up. And what we want to do when we do the eye color is to actually see the lights of your eyes. So there's a light that emanates from your eyes that's really your soul essence. We all say that the eye color mirrors the soul. So if we can see that light, in fact, my eyes look brown, but the lights of mine are gold.
Oh.
So when you can wear that color, it just illuminates you, basically. And you radiate your power of attraction.
All right, I'm going to go get out that green light.
Well, another way is being proactive. So learning the art of detachment and objectivity by stepping back and really feeling what colors resonate with you. So for example, you might have a home office and you really don't like going in there. So you might want to change the color of the room. It might actually help you to be more productive and effective if you just change the color.
Yeah, now you were talking about what different colors represent. How does that carry over to a room? Because I remember I saw this, well, I'll make it short, we're running out of time, but a TV show once that's saying that, like, they painted a jail, I think, maybe pink, and for the first 15 minutes or half hour it calmed people down, but then after that it like tended to turn them psychotic or like violent, because like being around pink too much or red or something. So how does that work for a room where you might have long exposure? I mean, I don't know, if you're looking at blue every day, does something weird happen to you? Or, I mean, is there anything different, I guess, for skin color and clothing versus a whole room that you should keep in mind? And
well, all the colors that we give you are for interior design as well. Okay. So it's a matter of looking and saying, how do you want to feel being in the room? Do you want to feel centered? Maybe you're creating a dining room and you say, okay, this is the power of entertainment. In your living room, you might want to feel really passive and centered. So we look at how you want to feel and then looking at your specific color palette to execute that.
Okay, and really again looking at the person.
Exactly. It's all about looking at the individual person for your authenticity.
And is that how you'd go about it too, or what would you say?
Yeah, I do a color assessment through a self-assessment, which is actually gets more into your personality characteristics, and then that determines your aura colors. You only have 2, and everyone's is different, and they are the closest color to your body. They're called your life color bands.
Do you have any thoughts on what mine might be, or maybe your own, or an example?
You know what? I mean, for an overview, I mean, are you creative and imaginative?
I can't say no to that, can
I?
Of course I am. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't on that one, right?
Well, my guess is you most likely are.
I try to be.
Or you wouldn't be in this field. So chances are you have some violet, which is intuitive and also creative. And you also have probably some green. Which means that you are ambitious.
I saw some violet on you too. So
yes, I'm a violet, yes.
And is there anything, well actually somebody was asking off camera, is there anything to calm your kids down?
You mean other than medication?
Yeah.
Color oriented.
Well, that's one way in America. You know, we got the medication. Other than medicating, what should enough people do these days? Anything?
You know, being an artist, I think for children, you want to obviously move that energy into doing something productive. So, in order to contain their energy, you might want to get them doing something art-oriented and keep it structured. Structure meaning use crayons or markers and not paint, because paint is very fluid and that will increase their energy level.
Well, thank you very much. Very much, both of you, for being here today. Jennifer Butler, I appreciate it. She's out there reinventing your style. And Jackie Ruka.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.